this is Ilina and welcome to another LDRS Creative card making video. For today's cards, I'm using the Watercolor Effects Floral stamp set that's available on HSN, and we're gonna do some fall watercoloring. So I have here a piece of watercolor paper, and I use a spray bottle to add some water. I'm using my stamp positioning tool to secure this in place so the stamping will be a little bit easier. So here I'm looking to select which of the flower pots or vases I wanted to select. So I went with the taller one. And this is a layering stamp set also. So stamp the first layer into with lightest brown. And since my paper was already wet, you saw how that color kind of dispersed around the stamp image. Next, I'm adding the second layer. So here the paper a little bit dried, a little bit more, but I added a little bit, I sprayed water directly onto the stamp for stamping it second time. Next, I will do the outline image, and I'm using waterproof ink for this layer, and I use black. So also to mention, for the fall watercolor effect, I'm using water-based dye inks because they react with water. And you can also use watercolor markers to color directly onto the stamp. So next I'm gonna fill that vase, and I'm adding green ink here. I inked the stamp and I sprayed it with my spray bottle. Next, I'm adding some stems. I'll use lighter green for this one, and you could see on the door of my stamping tool, you can see all the water from spritzing. So just adding that water to the images, to the stamps after you have added the ink, creates that watercolor effect. It's very easy. Next, I'm adding more foliage to add volume to the arrangement. I'll add another set of stems, and next we'll start to add the flowers. So I'm just picking some of the flowers available in the set. I'm adding ink here. I used purple, and I sprayed with water before I stamped it. So at this point, I don't want to add more water onto my watercolor paper because I like how it looks at this point, and I don't want to dilute the colors even more. Next, I will use blue, and I'll just ink one of the flowers on this one. I'll add some of the decoration on the vase. I'm almost off the camera here, but you can see on the bottom. Okay. So I stamped that a couple times to make sure it's more visible because I used kind of yellow ink. Here I smudged some of the blue ink onto my paper, but since we're doing a little bit messy watercoloring, that does not really matter. Okay, I think that I like the arrangement so far, and I'm using my heat tool to dry that panel because it's very soaked. It was very soaked from the water. Next, I will trim 1/2 inch from each side to get the panel down to 3 3/4 by 4.5 inches. By 5, not 4.5. So 5 by 3 3/4. Next, I have a panel from Craft Cardstock. I cut it to 5.5 by 8.5, and it was scored on 4 1/4. Then I just fold along the scoring line to create a side folding card. Next, we'll stamp sentiment, and I'm using again my stamp positioning tool. Since the cardstock, it's the watercolor paper, it's pretty warped from all the water and drying it, I secured the panel with magnets. And next I'm adding some foam tape. So I will cover the entire back pretty well with the foam tape because this will also help straighten that panel. So I added 5 strips of watercolor paper. I'll remove the backing and add it to my card base that I created. So I'm adding that there, and that will finish our card for today. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also please visit the LGRS Creative website and blog for more ideas and more inspiration. Thanks for watching. Bye.